Welcome back to lesson number 5 of how to crochet a raglan style sweater. This is Benjamin from Benjamin Krudwig Fiber Arts and Design, and today we're going to learn about raglan increases. So increasing is when you put 2 stitches into 1 stitch, and so you're thus doubling that number of stitches in that one area. This is often used when making a hat or when doing any shaping. When it comes to a raglan style increase, that's specific for a sweater. So what you're doing is, so I have my miniature sweater here, you're going along this line here, and you are increasing both this direction and this direction. So what's happening is that you're creating the armhole as you're working. This is different than some sweater construction styles, where you make the body first, and it's a little bit more like a block, and then you make the sleeves and attach them on to the sweater body. So this is a way that you can just make the sleeve holes at the same time as making the actual body of the sweater. With crochet, there's pretty much one type of increase, and it's when you single crochet into the same stitch twice. You can, however, do a chain 1 single crochet, and that basically adds 2 stitches. That leaves a hole inside of that actual area, so you'd have holes kind of along this diagonal line. Because we're working in the round and in crochet, the stitches don't line up exactly the same way as they do in knit, where they line up along straight lines. In the round in crochet, it's actually a hexagonal grid that everything matches up along. So the increases sort of skew around the body. You can sort of see this in this sweater here. However, the increases do still meet up right underneath the arm, and it's not a very noticeable design flaw. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to properly do a raglan increase. We'll be performing these every other row because in each round that we work, we are increasing by 8 stitches. And to get the right gauge down this way, we're going to have to skip a row. That way we don't end up with having too large of body and armholes when we get down to that point. So I've crocheted about up to 3 stitches before my stitch marker. So what we're going to do is single crochet until we get 1 stitch before the stitch marker. In this stitch we're going to increase. So I'm going to insert my hook and do a single crochet. And then in that same stitch I'm going to do another single crochet. Then I'm going to remove my stitch marker, do 1 single crochet in that stitch, place my stitch marker back there, and then I'm going to do another increase after that stitch. So I'll go through that one more time. I'm going to crochet up to 1 stitch before my stitch marker, increase, single crochet, increase. So these are paired increases. So we're increasing along the body as well as within the armhole. So I'm just going to get right back around to the other side with the other armhole. So here we come back around. I'm going to go right up to 1 stitch before the stitch marker. Increase. Then single crochet. Then increase in the next stitch. Then I'm going to go back around to the next stitch marker, increase, single crochet, and increase. Then I'll come back around to my back point here. And that will have been round 1. In round 2, we're not going to do any increases. We're just going to go straight around. And then in the 3rd row, we'll do increases again. So you can already see there is a slight flare on each edge, and that's because we increased by 8 total stitches. And with our gauge, that is nearly 3 total inches. So if we did the circumference around, this would be 3 inches larger, nearly 3 inches larger than this portion. You can't really tell right now because it's being pulled in by this gauge here, but it will flare out. Okay, so I have some other demonstration yarn here, and I'm going to show you what each of those increases looks like. So it's a little bit different for each one. I'm going to show what we're doing currently. So we're going to go in, increase, so that's just 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, single crochet, then increase in that next stitch. I'm going to skip, or I'm going to single crochet a stitch, and then for this next one, it's single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, single crochet. Then I'm going to work my way back around, and since this is not an increase row, we're just going to go straight through, come back around, and this is an increase row. So it's increase, single crochet, increase, and then remember we skipped one, so we single crocheted, and it's going to be another one because we increased on that side, then another one because we increased on this side, so it'll be single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and you can already begin to see this side has these holes, whereas this side does not have as many holes. And those are the 2 different increases that you can do with your Raglan style increase. I recommend doing the single crochet increase rather than the single crochet chain increase, and that's just because it's going to give you a much more solid fabric without holes. If you like the idea and that sort of motif of having holes along the increases, that's okay. Just go ahead and do it. Just know that there might be weaker spots there because there's less fabric there, as well as it might be a little chilly. Stay tuned for the next lesson where I'm going to teach you how to separate the arms from the body. Thank you for watching.